Dr. Fadi from the Australian Veterinary Hospital, and today we are discussing a commonly asked question that I get actually from my clients, especially like ladies who are like around pregnancy. Most commonly it's, the toxoplasma. So many people, they've heard one way or another that, cats would be able actually to cause to cause a human being or a pregnant lady to have a miscarriage. Unfortunately, this is really like not very much of a true statement. There is some truth to the fact, but I will explain actually that the cat is somehow considered blamed for something that's not really of a serious nature. And this unfortunately leads to in so many cases that people will abandon the cat, and we end up with having a cat that unfortunately homeless, and unfortunately probably suffering for probably both parties, the poor pet and the owner. Now, Toxoplasma is a parasite that is transmitted through the feces of the cat to a human being, through the oral or through consumption, through oral consumption. So basically handling the cat as a general, you would not actually get anything. You're playing, cuddling, kissing, you wouldn't get any issue with that. Very commonly, something like this, only cats that have this disease, because it's a parasite. So not every cat, very commonly we get it from street cats, that they do actually carry that in their intestine, but not all street cats have that. So it's only limited number, would have this issue, and it's not a big percentage as well, because we do test a lot of animals for this, and we do a lot of screening, and we haven't seen many cases of Toxoplasma. It is there, it's a very small percentage, it is there. Now, transmission of this disease to us as a human being, as I mentioned earlier, is through fecal oral, which is consumption of the cat's feces through either actually poor hygiene or some form of just an accident somehow, actually person did not wash their hands or whatever it is, we end up with a situation like this. Of course, from the house cats, it's the likelihood of getting it, even the cat is carrying this disease, it's not really a serious matter, so as you can see, this he is telling me is no, we're absolutely innocent and we have nothing to deal with this, isn't it? So basically what happens actually on those situations, if the cat, assuming this poor little cat, which is I don't think so, this poor little cat might be actually carrying this disease. Generally, the only way actually that would he transmit that to us is if the cat has pooped and somehow we handled the feces, and the feces as well has to have the criteria that it stayed in our house more than 24 hours. Because these eggs, which is the parasite eggs, when they pass in the feces, they have to sporulate or they have to hatch. And this hatching needs a minimum of 24 hours before it become, of a danger, to us. So for this reason, I don't find that is a possibility in our home environment, because none of us will be able to leave the cat poop available in the environment for a long time. So that's why generally the moment this happens, within probably a maximum of 12 hours, we will clean up the litter tray. And that's why it's always good to have actually the litter tray, cleaned on regular basis, every, probably either in the morning or in the evening, and we have that as a regular routine. And definitely, even if the cat has this disease, the chance of having it actually transmitted to us is extremely limited. So that's why, I don't want so many people to worry about such a nature from a house cat. And so many people come to me actually they want to test their cat for Toxoplasma, and we do the the blood test, we have it actually in house. And this is why I want actually everybody not to worry so much about that. That's one thing. Now, like I said, generally if we have a pregnant lady and they do have this concern, I want actually people probably to have some gloves on, probably clean the litter tray, and then that's it. And probably if a normal person or a lady or a non-pregnant lady handles actually the feces, all what she needs to do, just wash her hands. And even if the cat has this issue, We will not have any which is basic hygiene. I'm not asking for anything more than that, even any feces of any human or animal definitely will cause actually some serious illness to us if we are handling it without actually having proper hygiene. Now, what happens if this toxoplasma transmits to a non-pregnant lady or a normal child or an adult? Nothing basically happens. It's just like a flu for about 2-3 days, and then after that we become immune for the rest of our lives. Some people they would the most common way of contracting this disease is through uncooked lamb or poorly cooked lamb meat. Only lamb meat. Other types of meat will not be, because lambs are considered part of the intermediate host that this parasite will have. So that's why in the meat itself, if we do not actually properly handle the meat in a very good way, for example, on the cooking board, if we don't actually after we have used the meat on the cooking board, if we haven't cleaned this board properly, and then we put salad or put toast or something on this board, and we haven't actually probably, then there is a very high risk that we might actually contract this disease from the lamb meat specifically. And another way is actually if the children are playing in probably in a playground, something sand pits with cats, because they find it it's like a big litter tray. So this is why actually it is one of those things that always, when kids are playing in those areas, it's a good thing as well to get them to wash their hands after they play in the sand pit. And ladies who love gardening are as well at risk, because there is cat poop contaminating the zone. So basically, to avoid something like this, there's no need for us even to have a flu for 3 days. But so basically, basic hygiene will definitely eliminate any risk. So basically, handling, kissing, playing will definitely cause nothing, or harm to us. So be safe, everybody. I'm Dr. Fadi from the Australian Veterinary Hospital, and thank you very much for subscribing to our channel.